So today we are here with a very exciting video.
We're going to be doing a review on Hidden Bodies
by Caroline Kepnes.
So there was a contest on Goodreads that I entered on a whim, because I always enter all those things, and I won! What?
When she texted me that she got the book, we were like so excited.
I'm so happy.
We were so, because this is like, I think probably the book we were most excited for this entire year.
Yeah.
And most people who read the first book, you are like highly anticipated.
Super pumped up. So I like lost my shit at work. I was at work and I literally was like, I want a book! And my coworkers were like, great, you won a book. I was like, no, you don't get it. I won a book. And they were like, okay, great. But it got here and I read it really damn fast, and then I gave it to Erica, who read it in a day, stayed up until 4 a.m. reading it, and it's just
really good.
It's amazing.
So we are gonna do a non-spoiler review on this book, but I feel like if you haven't read the first book, you probably don't want to watch this because there are gonna be slight spoilers for the first book, and you all should just go read You because it's literally amazing.
Go read it if you haven't read it.
Just go read it.
Perfection.
But if you have read the first book and you just want to hear our general thoughts on what happens in Hidden Bodies, then feel free to stay, and we promise not to spoil you.
Yes, we'll keep it spoiler free because it's out. It's out in February. I think it's
Is it on the side?
Is it on the side? The 23rd. Ooh, it's coming up.
Yeah. So
it comes out on the 23rd, so this is perfect time because we're gonna talk about it, and you guys will be able to go pick it up very, very soon, and I suggest doing that.
Yes, yes.
All right.
All right. So goodbye if you haven't read You. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Hidden Bodies takes place right after where you left off. Joe is in a relationship with Amy, and things are going great, things are wonderful, and then Amy just fucking pieces out of there.
Yeah.
We won't say why, we won't say what happens, but she just disappears.
And she goes to LA, and Joe's like, no,
yeah,
I'm gonna get you in his way.
Perfectly
Can't
Joe
let anything
way.
go.
Yeah.
And so he follows her to LA, and when he gets there, he realizes that his plans have to change a little, and he kind of has to adapt to society a little bit more than he could in New York.
New York and LA are two different beasts. They're and he's lived in New York his whole life. Like, that's him. He's a New Yorker, and he's kind of now he's in LA and is trying to blend in. And it's a lot of kind of funny parts where like he knows that he isn't fitting in, and so he has to like kind of fake it.
Yeah, so he like
funny.
joins Facebook, and he like goes on Twitter, and he like starts like getting on into all these like fads, and like he's like, oh yeah, I love that comedian too.
Yeah.
And just he really has to change just so that he can get to people and to the information that he wants.
That he needs to.
And it's really hilarious.
So Joe is in LA and he's trying to figure out his life, he's trying to adapt to this, he's trying to find Amy, but at the same time he's kind of developing himself in a new way, and he kind of is finding out he likes LA and he likes kind of the person he is there, and he meets someone new maybe.
Compared to the first book, Hidden Bodies is very different, but I loved it just as much as I loved You, but they feel like very different books.
Yeah,
which I think is a good thing.
You is the thing with You that kind of really sticks out to a lot of people is the way that it's told, because it's told through on the second person's perspective, where it's like, I watched you do this, you were doing that, you were doing this.
But obviously at the end of You, that person is gone.
Yeah.
So
well, they were saying spoilers, so you know, Beck is dead. So.
I remember when I was reading Hidden Bodies, I was wondering if the whole second person point of view was going to come back into play at any time, but it doesn't. So that's not there. But but it's obviously still from Joe's point of view. So we
still get that. Yeah. That's kind of his take on everything.
But it does make it kind of, I feel like, a little less creepy and a little less uncomfortable. Yeah, invasive is the good word. But I still think it has such a strong narrative, and I don't think the writing suffers at all from not having it. It's just a different story.
It's just a different way of telling the story.
Yeah.
But like I said, it definitely still has. There's definitely still points where I was like, please stop, Joe. Yeah. Like, this is awfully creepy.
Yeah, the uncomfortableness, the thrills, like it's still all there.
It's just told in a different way.
Yeah. I think this book is much more about Joe's story and Joe trying to figure stuff out rather than just watching
a relationship.
Trying to stalk a girl.
Yeah. It's less of a, and then, like, there are relationships and stuff in it, but it's less of a relationship and more focused on Joe.
Yeah.
So if you really enjoyed the character of Joe, the kind of the anti-hero kind of type thing, then Hidden Bodies is gonna be so good because it
it's all about
really
Joe.
Focuses on him in like his development and his growth. Like it's very interesting to watch.
I wasn't expecting a lot of character development, honestly, going into this book, because with characters like Joe who are psychopaths, I mean, I think you can consider him a psychopath.
He's a psychopath.
Usually they remain stagnant, and it's about the other people, you know, around them who are all, you know, trying to live their lives and figure stuff out. But this book, really, you see Joe, like, realizing things, and like him and all the people around him are just like realizing things.
2016.
Looking good.
You don't know what that video is.
But the character development is amazing, and I think even if you like just kind of like Joe at the end of you, because I feel like it's kind of impossible not to like him, because Caroline Kepnes just does such a good job of you wanting to sympathize with him. Like, you can't even fight your love with him by the end of this book. I was crying because I just wanted him to be happy so badly.
Yeah. It's, like, that's another thing that's done, Caroline Kepnes does so well, is she makes you sympathize with this character that you know is awful.
Yeah.
You know Joe is a murderer.
Yeah.
Joe murders people and and stalks people and ruins people's lives, but you have so much sympathy towards him.
And you're rooting for him the whole time.
Yeah, you are. And then you still have those moments, just like in You, where you're reading it and all of a sudden you're like, wait, like, what am I doing? Why am I sympathizing with him? And then you keep reading and you're like, oh, I love Joe.
At one point I was like, there's this really annoying character, we won't talk about who, I was like, when is Joe gonna murder this girl? I just want this girl to be gone already. Like, I know he's gonna kill her. And I was like, wait, Erica, why do you want him to kill people? Yeah. So it's just that thing, you really get into his head, and it's you just can't fight it, I feel like, by the end of this book. So it is very much about Joe. So if you liked You for Beck, or like the writing style of the second person point of view, then maybe give it a shot. But
I think it's
all about Joe.
He is just such a good anti-hero. You hate him and you love him at the same time. The narrative of this book is probably one of the funniest that I've read.
Yeah, Joe's the funniest character
he just has such good humor to him, and he just like, it's that like where he smiles at someone, and then because you can hear his like, you know, it's him like talking about it, and so he smiles at someone, he's literally like, I'm gonna fucking murder you, or like, it's just things that he says are just hilarious.
So funny. And the jokes are just so well written. Like, they're not like forced book jokes where it's like
yeah, he's very witty.
Yeah, the first probably like third of this book is dedicated to his journey to find Amy, and all he does is think about Amy. And then he meets some other people, he starts discovering other things, and this book really takes a lot of interesting turns. Joe just keeps putting himself in all these different situations, and he gets to do all this crazy stuff, and he's getting involved in like the entertainment industry.
It's really
cool. And he
starts
writing, and you just see like more and more of his personality and kind of what like a normal Joe would be like, but it's not him.
It's not all just like stalker Joe anymore. No. Which is, and then you have glimpses of like that kind of person underneath where he's trying to be normal, he's trying to be a writer, and then that like kind of stalker first book Joe comes out. It has such a nice balance, the two of them, because I feel like you can't have a whole series just about Joe continuously stalking different girls at a time. Like it wouldn't work. And so Caroline Kepnes, I think, realizes that, and it's such a good blend of
like
real
that
life.
Like dark twisted Joe that we all know from the first book, but now you see him in hilarious situations really trying to adapt to his life, and as the reader you get fooled into it too. You're like, oh, everything's working out, everything's perfect, and all of a sudden Joe's like, I want to kill her, and you're like there he is.
There he comes. And I think it's done in a really nice way. Yeah. There's so many times throughout the book where I'm like, what else could Joe get into?
Literally,
like,
and so then there's something else.
I'm like, okay, like Joe did it, he's fine, he's in the clear, and then there's like a whole other thing gets thrown in that like, and it's done in such a way where you don't even think about it. It's not even on your radar, and then it gets thrown in. You're like, oh my god, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, stuff from the first book will come back to haunt you in like ways you just like didn't expect. No, and it has you like. That's why I stayed up to 4 a.m. finishing it, because you just like you can't put it down. It's glued to your hands. It feels like these books feel like psychological thrillers for millennials. Like I also think in this book Joe feels younger than he does in the first book, because it kind of has a more millennial tone to it. He like takes Uber, and he talks about like those like trendy grocery stores that 20-somethings go to. It just like, it feels like a book that, like, my mom wouldn't really get, but someone around our age would. Yeah. So that's really cool to kind of have...
Like, in the same way, it's not written of being like, Facebook, right, guys? Like, we're connecting. No.
It's not like that at all.
It has cultural, kind of like, references in it, but in his Joe way, because Joe, after Beck, like, hates Twitter, hates these things, and kind of all of a sudden now has to be like, yeah, no, they're great too, I like it. So it's an interesting to see him kind of be like, oh, okay, like, this isn't too bad. This is a kind of book that I think, honestly, really anyone can kind of like. Like, any kind of... like, it's not for, like, oh, people who really like fantasy or people who really like this. Like, it's definitely kind of a book that, like, a lot of people write. Like, I suggested it to my other friend, and she really liked it, and then I suggested it to one of my male coworkers, and he likes it, and they're completely opposite people, and they both, you, the first one, and same as Hidden Bodies, like, they both love it at the same time, but they're two completely different people, and they kind of have two completely different tastes in books. It's very interesting that, like, it's kind of a type of book that, like, a lot of different people kind of can get into.
So, yeah, Hidden Bodies, if you liked You, I think you'll like Hidden Bodies. Yeah. Like, it's such a great continuation.
It really is.
And you just see Jo in such a new light. I think if she had done the same kind of story where Jo just finds another girl
and stalks
her, calls her you know, all that stuff, it would have been good because she's a great writer, but it just kind of would have been more of the same. And this time you really get to see Jo sweat and see him do all these new interesting things, and you will get emotionally attached, and you'll cry, probably.
But it makes it so interesting, and it makes me excited to see kind of where it's going to go from here, because there's so much character development.
And there's a big cliffhanger.
Huge cliffhanger.
Get ready for it.
Yeah. Like, you think it's done? No.
Yeah. So she better write a third one. Caroline Kepnes, please write a third one.
Please, Carolyn. Please.
Please. Also, before we end, who do you guys picture as Jo? Because we've talked about a couple different fan casts. We really like Aidan Turner. Oscar Isaac. Who else did we say?
I think those are the kind of the main ones.
Yeah. Dylan O'Brien, if they wanted to do a little younger,
very young.
A little younger Jo, because he has a baby face.
Yeah, but he can do that dark thing. But please let us know who you would want.
Because I think the options have been, the rights have been optioned for a TV show, I think, but I don't think anything's come from it.
I think it would make an amazing TV show.
Yeah, like a miniseries or something.
It's just so thrilling, and I feel like it just would be one of those things we'd like people
everyone would tune in
every week would be like, what is gonna happen now? Like, what is gonna happen to Beck? What is gonna happen to Jo? In conclusion, Eric and I both gave it a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It was 100% deserving of it. So excited. Thank you so much to Atria Books and to Goodreads for, giving the book in the giveaway. We are so excited to get it. We both freaked out on the day.
Everyone pick it up on the 26th. If
23rd.
23rd. Everyone pick it up on the 23rd if you're going to read it, because you're going to want to know what happens right away before you get spoiled.
And please, if you do pick it up and you read it, comment on this video. It could be like, I don't care, 10 months from now if you're watching this video.
But we want to talk to people
and you want to talk to people.
We feel so alone.
Yeah, it's like a void of just being like, please. So please comment down below, talk about it, try to keep it spoiler free for anyone else who's read it.
Yeah. If you haven't read it yet, tell us what your theories are going to be.
Yeah.
And we could tease you. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you soon with another video. Bye!